Hello and welcome to another update video about LINK. LINK continues to be in this diagonal pattern to the upside. Absolutely no change to the overall wave structure here. We have a little bit of small fluctuations here, but the assumption that we talked about in yesterday's video is still valid. Specifically that the wave 5 could already be unfolding. Obviously it's currently being challenged, but not invalidated. So we are going to take a look at that. The idea is still, also for anybody who's new on this channel, that LINK started to unfold in a 5-wave leading diagonal in June. Yeah. So with this low that was made in our long-term support area, the price could have started a so-called leading diagonal pattern. It is an overall 5-wave pattern, and one more wave is basically missing. Wave 4 might be finished. It's not entirely clear yet, but yesterday's price action was quite, was quite some evidence, that we can say, okay, wave 5 is unfolding. But a few things need to happen for that, so we're taking a look at that in a minute. Bear in mind that in such a structure, we are looking for overall 5 waves. Basically, that means the highest probability element of this rally is likely already done, and also that likely the entire third wave is already done. So that's also not only the highest probability element, but it's also the largest part of that rally is already done before we get a deeper pullback or a more convincing pullback. Then obviously here the wave 4 and the wave 5. Yeah. So if the wave 4 finished, then wave 5 should get sort of towards $21 plus. There is a structural resistance level at $18.30 that needs to be overcome first. If wave 4 is not finished, which is entirely possible, we're going to zoom in a minute, just want to show you the structures first, then this support area is still relevant, and I don't want the price to go below $9.75 anymore. Okay, so this is the support zone. $9.75 is a key level, as well as the $11 level. Ideally, the price doesn't even break out of this ascending price channel to the downside. That can send it quickly to $9.75 and possibly back into bear market mode. So we want to avoid that. At the moment, the main question here on this chart, it's, okay, is the wave 4 finished or is it still unfolding? So let's take a look at that. Let's go to 1 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. There have been, and there always are, a few ways how such a correction can unfold, especially in a wave 4. Wave 4s are specifically difficult to track. They can be extremely boring. They can be sideways corrections, like, for example, a flat structure. They can be, sideways corrections like a triangle. There are 3 different types of flat structures. There's a regular flat pattern, there's an expanded flat, a regular flat. They all look slightly different. So that's already a problem. Then there's no guarantee that it's a sideways correction. Could also be a sharp correction. Well, this one isn't. But just these 4 patterns themselves can create a lot of trouble. Yeah. And if that wasn't enough, there are even combination patterns where you have 2 flat structures combined. They are not so frequent, but you get it. It can turn into quite a complex mess, such a correction. And therefore, we really have to be flexible in these corrections. It's very difficult to trade within a wave 4. I always recommend don't trade in a wave 4. If you really want to do it, we have a member live stream recording in which we talked about strategies, how you can trade a 4th wave, but it's more advanced, more of an advanced skill set. But feel free to check out our membership. There are live stream tutorials about how to trade different structures. But again, I usually recommend to stay on the higher time frame. Now, if I trade within such a structure, and to be honest, I don't have too much time trading intraday or anything, I usually just set up a grid bot that will trade the range for me also during the night. Whereas trading this by hand is extremely messy and takes a long time, and most people wouldn't be profitable within such a range because of fake breakouts. So normally, we say in a wave 4, the focus has to be on capital preservation. Yeah. If you can make money in a wave 4, even better. That's why I use a grid bot. And the grid bot that I used was profitable. I switched it off at near the high yesterday, around $17. Yeah. I mentioned that in the video. but I might set it up again if we get a significant dip again, and then can trade the range again, or even finding an entry point down here. That's sort of how I would strategically approach this, or just staying on the higher time frame and just sort of adding in support. The price already touched our support area here. I just moved the support area to the right-hand side now because nobody's interested in this anymore, right? So yeah, but let's assume the wave 4 bottomed. If the wave 4 finished, it's finished as a triangle. I made you aware of that triangle pattern. It put an E wave in place, didn't break below the last low. That keeps the triangle assumption valid, the triangle wave count. We could now be in the 5th wave. The 5th wave is likely going to be a 5-wave pattern. No, 3-wave pattern in this case, because we're dealing with a diagonal. A wave, B wave, C wave. That's one way how this could unfold. Let me change the wave degree. It could also be that this ABC structure is only going to be the first part of a larger ABC. Whatever, that's not predictable at this stage. Important is now to keep the assumption, well, a reasonable assumption that the wave 5 has started. The price needs to stay above the ideal support area, which ends at $14.98. So below $14.98 is not bearish, but the risk increases, we drop back into wave 4 in a much more complex, probably WXY correction or something, or even ABC structure with an overshooting B wave here. Yeah. This will be confirmed with a break below $14.30 because that's the invalidation point. So this is ideal support. Below that level, risk increases, but below $14.30, we have invalidation for the 5th wave. Basically, I would have to assume wave 4 is then still unfolding, which I personally would be happy with because I could just set up the grid bot again lower. Okay. But in the interest of a bullish outlook, ideally the price turns around somewhere here before it breaks below $14.98. Also bear in mind there's an ascending trend line here that could provide some additional support. And then the first support line at $12.86, $11 together with that ascending trend line next. That's my update about LINK. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.